Welcome, friends from all over the world. If this is your first time here, we're honored to have you. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. In the heart of the desert, the sands whisper secrets that are thousands of years old. Standing silently since before recorded history is a massive stone statue that watches, listens, and knows things we may never understand about ourselves and our ancient past, the Sphinx. This colossal lion with a human head stands tall as a guardian on the edge of a sacred plateau. But the question remains, is it just a statue, or is it a gateway to something buried deep below the surface, something from a forgotten time? For decades, mainstream archaeologists ignored ancient tales, stories told by historians like Herodotus and Strabo, and even dismissed the results of modern scanning technologies that revealed anomalies beneath the Sphinx. These include tunnels, hidden rooms, and possibly even ancient libraries from a lost civilization. In this video, we'll try to answer some of the questions that have remained mysteries for thousands of years. Did the ancient Egyptians hide something inside the Sphinx? Could the Sphinx be a sealed gateway, waiting to be opened when humanity is ready? Are we now closer than ever to unlocking its secrets? The Great Sphinx of Giza is about 73 meters long and 21 meters tall. It's the most famous ancient monument in the world. It was carved directly from the natural limestone bedrock of the Giza Plateau and has stood for thousands of years, welcoming visitors to the pyramids with its majestic presence right in front of the last surviving wonder of the ancient world. Historically, the Sphinx played an important role in Egyptian culture. Some believe it guarded Old Kingdom tombs, and it was later revered during the New Kingdom as Hora-Makhet. The Canaanites worshipped it as Haran, and even the Greeks and Romans honored it. In modern times, the mystery of the Sphinx tunnels, allegedly located underneath or around the statue, has become one of the most controversial topics in alternative Egyptology. Dozens of theories have emerged, ranging from well-documented discoveries to wild and baseless metaphysical speculation. So, do tunnels or chambers really exist beneath the Sphinx? What did ancient historians say about it? And what about the theory of the Hall of Records and documents from a lost civilization? One key event that reignited interest in this topic was a seismic survey conducted in the 1990s by the Schaller de Lubitsch Research Institute in collaboration with American geologist Thomas DeBecke and researcher John Anthony West. Many of us have seen video clips showing openings or tunnel-like features inside and around the Sphinx. These openings have sparked endless speculation. Could one of these openings lead to the legendary Hall of Records? Or is there an ancient king buried beneath? Surprisingly, despite official denials, a chamber has indeed been discovered inside the Sphinx. That's what we'll explore here. Although many people have criticized Dr. Zahi Hawass and asked us not to quote him on this channel, it's worth noting that he still heads Egypt's Antiquities Authority. And while many disagree with him, some of his statements offer valuable insights. In his recent interview with Joe Rogan, which I personally found frustrating, Hawass insisted on a fixed narrative. But what's interesting is what he said about the Sphinx. He acknowledged that there are 4 tunnels inside the statue. The first is behind the dream stele, between the Sphinx's paws. The second is behind the head, about 8 feet deep. The third is located on the back, in the upper third of the statue. Then he seems to have mixed things up a bit, mentioning a tunnel beneath the tail, which he probably meant as the 4th tunnel, not a repeat of the 3rd. According to Hawass, the tunnel under the tail was discovered in 1927 by Emile Barrès. There are even photos of work being done inside it. However, Hawass may have either forgotten or overlooked a 5th opening. Yes, there is a 5th. These are real historical photos showing workers standing inside the Sphinx during the 1920s. However, according to sources, this opening isn't a tunnel. It's more like a cavity or weathered hole in the side of the statue. Early restoration images show it was once covered with stone blocks, and we don't know its original depth or shape. Hawass said that pottery fragments from the 26th dynasty, which is around 500 BC, were found in the tail tunnel, suggesting it was dug during that era by Egyptians who believed something was hidden beneath the Sphinx. But if that's true, doesn't it imply that Egyptians of that time didn't actually know what the Sphinx was, or what lay inside it? That's just speculation based on some pottery shards, not solid evidence. According to diagrams, the tunnel is irregular in shape. It starts at ground level, rises upward, then descends again. The lower section ends abruptly in solid rock, partially filled with groundwater when it was rediscovered. The upper section runs between the statue's limestone casing and the plateau's bedrock. Emile Berets sealed the top with cement in the 1920s during restoration. To this day, no one knows how far the tunnel goes, or if it connects to anything deeper. There's also the cavity at the top of the head that Joe Rogan mentioned. According to 18th century notes by Charles Thomson, people accessed it using ropes and found a deep hollow shaft that may have been used in priestly rituals. Old photos show a person standing inside. It's estimated to be less than 2 meters deep, but a French scholar noted that this hole was once more than 3 meters deep with a diameter of 40 centimeters, and said he personally saw stones and sand at the bottom, suggesting it was once much deeper and possibly connected to other internal chambers. There's also a metal cover sealing this opening today, presumably to protect it from erosion. Another intriguing area is behind the dream stele between the Sphinx's paws. There's a square-shaped gate leading to a narrow passage, again sealed with cement by Berets. Unfortunately, he didn't document his work properly, so we don't have detailed records of this tunnel either. Lastly, we have the most mysterious opening, a metal hatch at the lower back of the statue. This area has been heavily restored. During 20th century restoration efforts, Emile Berets didn't just seal the tunnel, he inserted a brick column that descends several meters into the body of the statue. No one knows why he did this, or what the tunnel originally looked like. Few original photos remain, but multiple historians have written about it since the 17th century. Now let's look at more modern documents that describe these tunnels. In his book The Sphinx, researcher Robert Temple cites several sources confirming the presence of a vertical shaft. One 17th century traveler, Johann Michael van Sleb, reported a large cave at the back of the Sphinx, the size of the entire head. He saw an entrance leading to a tunnel which he believed ended in a burial chamber. In 1721, Thomas Shaw described a square opening at the back of the Sphinx, about 60 centimeters wide and filled with sand at the time. British consul Henry Salt worked with explorer Giovanni Caviglia in 1817 to excavate around the Sphinx. Unfortunately, detailed records of their work don't exist, but some of Caviglia's notes ended up in the British Museum and in Florence. French archaeologist Auguste Mariette later studied these notes and concluded there were 2 chambers behind the Sphinx. One of them, he believed, contained hieroglyphic inscriptions that might explain the statue's origins. He launched an excavation project and discovered natural cavities inside the Sphinx's body. Some of them were then covered over during construction. Mariette also found a vertical shaft, possibly the same one others had mentioned. At the bottom he found burnt wooden fragments that released a strong resinous smell, likely remnants of an ancient coffin. Why Mariette burned those wooden remains is still a mystery, but according to Caviglia's records, one chamber was located at the tail, and the other is the one Mariette described. To this day, no inscriptions have been found inside the Sphinx, but the idea that hidden chambers exist beneath or within it remains a compelling mystery. Hieroglyphics in the tail tunnel, a deeper mystery. So, what does it mean that Caviglia found hieroglyphic inscriptions in the chamber Mariette spoke of, located beneath the vertical shaft? It means there may have been another room discovered as early as 1897. The director of the Cairo Institute at the time wrote an article stating that there are 2 vertical shafts in the back of the Sphinx. One of them leads to a burial chamber where some kind of Indian stone tablets were reportedly found. This suggests that there may have once been an early mastaba structure incorporated into or beneath the Sphinx. Unfortunately, the room beneath that shaft remains undocumented and unknown, which is, honestly, incredibly suspicious considering how globally famous the Sphinx is. It makes you wonder, something important must be hidden inside it. Going back to the big questions we posed at the beginning, did the ancient Egyptians hide something inside the Sphinx? Was the Sphinx designed as a sealed gateway, waiting to be opened when humanity was ready? The answer seems to lean toward yes. Remember that Emile Berets, during his restoration work in the early 20th century, poured cement into many areas of the Sphinx, but he left 2 key tunnels open, the one in the back and the one beneath the dream stele. That can't be a coincidence. These tunnels most likely led to man-made chambers inside the statue. Caviglia also confirmed there were 2 chambers in the body of the Sphinx, a claim that was later backed by Mariette in his writings and by Ludwig Borchardt, who also noted the existence of 2 vertical shafts in the structure. One of them reportedly ended in a burial room. Now, about the hole at the top of the head, modern historians, including Austrian researchers, measured it at about 3 meters deep. They also observed stones and sand blocking its bottom, suggesting the cavity may connect to something further below. It's very likely this shaft leads somewhere, but no proper excavation has been done. It's definitely worth investigating. Based on all this, we can safely say that there is at least one confirmed chamber inside the Sphinx. The real question is, are we closer than ever to uncovering it? Originally, the idea of discovering secret rooms inside the Sphinx was seen as something almost mythical. But now, with today's advanced scanning and imaging technology, we no longer need destructive excavation to explore what's beneath. We can pinpoint the exact location of such chambers without digging a single shovel of sand. According to available data, there's a confirmed carved chamber inside the rock, located beneath the Sphinx, with its entrance accessible from the rear opening of the statue. The stone slabs that Mariette found inside the chamber suggest ancient burial rituals, possibly hinting that the chamber was reused in a later era for a different purpose. And if this chamber does contain hieroglyphic inscriptions, as Caviglia mentioned, then those inscriptions might finally reveal the truth about the origin of the Sphinx. Exploring these rooms could bring extraordinary answers, but it's frustrating to know we're being held back either by bureaucracy or by a lack of access to reliable data. Even with all our technology, there seems to be no public momentum or will to dig deeper, literally or figuratively. The Sphinx, more than any other monument from ancient Egypt, seems to hold the potential to change our entire understanding of human history. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the depths of time right here on the mysterious Giza Plateau.